Happy fall, y'all. Even though I am not a Southerner, I like the sounds of that. So, today on Venus Day, Friday, I wanted to share with you a different type of tarot card reading to honor the autumnal equinox, which happened this week. We are standing at the threshold between summer and autumn, and it's a time of releasing that which is going out, embracing that which is coming in, and letting alone that which is not ours. That is paraphrased from Amrit Desai. He was the founder of Kripalu Yoga and the first person to bring yoga to the West. You might know the Kripalu Center, which is in Western Massachusetts. I am certified yoga teacher of the Kripalu style, so that really speaks to me. So the type of reading that I want to do today is a 5-card reading, and it's going to be for all of us. You don't have to select a pile that you're attracted to get your specific message. This one is tailored for the collective, humanity, all of us. It's what we're all needing to focus on right now. And to do that, I'm using one of my favorite decks, and it is a deck by my friend, mentor, and teacher, Joanna Powell Colbert, right here. And she lives up in the Pacific Northwest, just south of Vancouver, Washington, or Vancouver, Canada, rather. And so a lot of her cards depict that landscape. I find that really evocative and beautiful. And her cards are not the old style of the Middle Ages, but they're more modern. And I also really like to share that, especially with tarot newbies, so you can relate to the energies a little bit more. So this 5-card spread starts with, what does the universe want you to know? Another way to phrase it, what does your higher power or higher self want you to know? So the card, I've already dealt the 5 cards, and this is called the Gaian Tarot. The 2 of Air. She uses the elements in a traditional deck. This would be swords, the 2 of Swords. And what do we see here? A woman who is listening deeply to the nature sounds around her. 2 of Swords is about going within and avoiding the distractions of all the chaos and the noise outside of us, be it the clamoring of societal messages, the traffic noises, people external to us telling us how to do things, what to do. And this is about really getting quiet and contemplative, perhaps grounding yourself in a natural setting to hear what's lying beneath the surface. That's certainly something we can all do and could benefit from right now in this time. The second card is, what is a challenge for all of us right now? And interestingly, we got another air card, Swords. And I didn't mention, but Swords is the realm of the intellect, our mental processes. And 7 is about being introspective and really considering your plan before you execute it. So really being strategic in how you want to move forward into fall, whether it's related to your work life, your relationships. Give it some forethought. Don't just dive in. Have a map to follow internally in your mental realm. You could journal, you could do some mind mapping, list making, pros and cons if you're making a decision. The 2 of Swords, the first card, is also about making decisions a lot. There are 2 ways to go and you have to decide between one or another. So have a map to guide you. And that's challenging for a lot of us. So that's why it's in this position. The next card is a way to meet that challenge. Interesting. Look what we got. So intuitively, you would say right off looking at this, oh my gosh, that's not the way to meet the challenge, is to be all bound up. This is the number 15 in what's called the major arcana of the tarot. It's the 21 cards that have the biggest energies in the tarot, kind of the big life lessons for us, all as we travel down the path of being human. So this is a big energy, and it's a way to meet the challenge of not always being mindful and not always having a plan. So what you see here is actually in the traditional tarot is the devil. It's the devil card. Bindweed is a plant that has wrapped around this individual, and they are kind of in a fetal position, looking, from my vantage point, pretty distressed. And there are all these ravens up on a wire above them, kind of looking down. It kind of reminds me of vultures that are waiting for something to die before they swoop in and, pick the meat off the bone, so to speak. So I know that's a little morbid, but the point being is, with these kinds of cards, even though it looks counterintuitive that this would be a way to meet the challenge, there are several ways we can look at this. One of the things we can say is, again, we need to get quiet and we need to shut out the noise. So the message of the first card started with that. And even though this person might be looking distressed, they also could just be really grounding themselves, getting away from all of the distractions and listening and comforting, self-soothing perhaps. Maybe things have been stressful. And one thing that a lot of us don't have is the ability to self-soothe. We look for substances or people outside of ourselves. And during these chaotic times, the best skill you can have is emotional IQ and self-soothing, your discomforting emotions. So that could be part of how you meet that challenge of going forward. How does it look when you go forward? Make sure that you have some self-soothing tools in your toolbox. The other thing, the devil can kind of trap us and chain us to things that don't serve us. Like I said earlier, addictions, relationships that are toxic. So this might be saying, cut the chains, remove the chains that are keeping you attached to things that aren't healthy for you. That's a way to move forward and to have a healthier plan for the fall. The fourth card is a lesson for us all to learn right now. And we've talked about the Empress before. She's also part of the major arcana. There's the major arcana, the 21 cards, and then there's the minor arcana. She is one of the major arcana. The minor arcana are the 4 suits, and in traditional card decks we see that, the 4 suits, the spades, the hearts, the diamonds, etc. But in this case, with the major energies, this is the lesson of really tapping into your creativity. 3 is a number of coming together in new ways that are not polarized, that are kind of out of the box. Tapping into a creative practice, perhaps, if you're not somebody who's regularly doing something creative. I would argue we're all creative at some level. We can be creative how we cook, how we dress, how we organize things at work. I mean, there are many ways to be creative thinkers. So it's not just about painting and drawing. It took until I was 48 to claim that I was an artist, because I cannot draw. I do not do certain skills that are considered artistic, but there are other ways I'm creative. So I encourage you to find a creative practice and to really own your own abundance and ability to create more joy in your life, more things that make you smile. Here's somebody who's lying in the field next to all this beautiful produce. Just enjoy food every day. Cook meals that nourish you and that are colorful and bring joy. Let life on a day-to-day basis delight you. That's really what the Empress is about. And then the last card is steps moving forward, what to be aware of. Another 2. So we started the reading with a 2, and we're ending with a 2. The first is someone who's in nature, being contemplative. And this person's in nature also, playing with their dog. They're very present to the moment. They're being very kind of free to feel the feeling of joy. I mentioned joy with the Empress. It makes total sense that here is somebody grounding into this moment, not worried about the past, not regretful, not fearful about the future, just saying, what can I do today that makes me laugh? So that's what I wish for you all in the season of fall, and I hope that you've enjoyed this. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.